Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is a Monday morning, bright and early. I woke up at 4 a.m. Actually, it's more like 3:30 just without my alarm clock because I'm an early riser. And I just have really been enjoying editing and doing some content stuff early in the morning. So I've been working on that for the last like hour and a half. I have a dentist appointment at 7 a.m. today. And then right after that, I have to go to get my allergy shots. For the rest of the day, I'm just going to take you around a day in my life as someone who recently started Zepbound. So I recently started Zepbound because of some health stuff that's been going on, and basically it's all led me to a diagnosis of PCOS, which I already kind of knew I had, but the main one being sleep apnea with insulin resistance and high blood pressure. So because of those things, I have just started Zepbound. I started it on a Friday. I started it last Friday and today's Monday. And I'm on, they put you on a microdose before you work up to your actual like high dose. So for me, I'm still on my microdose, and you stay on that for a month while your body adjusts to the medication. And then you go up to a second dose, and then you go up to your third dose until you're at the highest one. I was told that a lot of times people don't lose weight in the first month just because it's such a small dose, like your body doesn't necessarily like lose any weight on it. I've already lost 5 pounds. And I'm not saying that as like a flex. I actually don't know if that's necessarily a good thing to like be losing weight that quickly, but I'm just kind of trying to ride it out and see kind of what I feel and what happens and such. I am 29. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm 29. I don't feel like there's many people kind of going through the same journey as me in terms of like getting put on a GLP-1 and having an associated diagnosis with it, like sleep apnea. I feel like a lot of people go on it for weight loss management, which is obviously like what it's for, but my core issue is sleep apnea, and that's what caused all of my problems. And I just want to like document that because I feel like with sleep apnea, it's such a diagnosis that we hear about in the later stages of life, especially with obese patients. And a lot of times that is like compounded just with like a lifestyle that's unhealthy. For me, I have lived a very healthy lifestyle up until 4 years ago when I just felt disgusting and horrible and like I had no energy. So yeah, I just like want to advocate for the people that feel like that, for the people who have had chronic fatigue, who gained weight kind of out of nowhere and didn't necessarily have a change in lifestyle that associated with that, because it's not your fault. You're not just a lazy piece of crap because you feel like you don't have the energy to do anything. Like you might actually have something going on, and it's worth it to like stick it out and to try to figure out what's going on. I went through so many tests, blood draws, like everything, MRIs, whatever. And all I had to do was a sleep study. And I am not blaming any of my doctors, because I feel like in so many instances, especially young women, we're just kind of shoved to the side because they think we're young, like what could possibly be wrong with us. But it really took until I started having like high blood pressure with no reason, obvious weight gain, and now insulin resistance for like a clear diagnosis to be made. So yeah, I'm just going to like kind of share my journey and share what it's like being on a GLP-1, because it's not all roses and daisies. Like I have been really nauseous ever since I started the shot, which the shot you take you inject it once a week. I injected mine on Friday night, and I've just been kind of nauseous. I have not had an appetite whatsoever. Like I haven't even been thinking about food, which is weird because when you're going through something like chronic fatigue, or sleep apnea, stuff like that, you're so tired that your body's way of trying to compensate for your lack of energy is to try to get more calories, because calories equals energy, right? But then you're not really burning anything because you're so tired. Like, it's a vicious cycle. Like, you're so tired, you don't want to work out, you physically feel like you can't work out sometimes, and so then you end up gaining weight and storing fat because your body is like in a state of crisis, sort of. And I did have my cortisol levels checked. Okay, I know that's like a big buzzword right now, like high cortisol, blah, blah, blah. It's not that simple. Most people don't just have high cortisol spikes or anything like that. Mine was elevated, but incongruent with anything else, like a tumor or anything like that, because those can also cause high cortisol levels. It was just like a random urine test that I did that had me in a high cortisol range. So you're just in like this fight or flight mode all the time. And so it's just a vicious cycle, right? So now that I'm on Zepbound, I feel like my body is finally like calming down. This is the first step. The second step is me getting a CPAP, which will happen eventually. I just have to go back to the doctor, which I couldn't get in until a little bit later. So I hopefully next month will be on a CPAP, which should spike my energy levels like nobody's business. Because, well, not right away. I think it's gonna take a year for me to like fully feel normal again. But I know it's been like 4 years since I haven't gotten a restful night of sleep. And my sleep studies showed that I had moderate to severe sleep apnea. I don't know another person who's 29 that has sleep apnea, but I feel like maybe it's more common than we realize. And maybe that's why so many people later on in life are getting like uncontrolled high blood pressure, diabetes, all of these things, because it's not being found early enough. I don't know, that's just me speculating. I'm a physical therapist. I do have a medical background, but I'm not a doctor or anything like that. So definitely if you feel like you have any of the symptoms that I'm talking about, please go talk to your doctor, because I would be nowhere without mine. And I'm so incredibly grateful to every doctor that has taken the time to actually like sit down and listen to me, because I feel like so many of them would have just like brushed off what I was saying, but it truly has affected my mental health so much. I just think it's really important to advocate for yourself and to keep showing up and to keep going back and to take your health seriously. It's 10:45 right now. I'm getting ready to go get my allergy shots. I already went to the dentist. Got scolded for not flossing my teeth good enough. And my little chip that I've had since 8th grade is gonna get fixed, which I'm pretty excited about, not gonna lie. So I just wanted to do a little check-in because I have not eaten any real food today because I haven't been hungry. So I've been sipping on a bunch of water. I have probably drank about 1 liter. I did have like half of it. There's a fly. I did have half of an energy drink as well because I was feeling like my energy levels were dipping. I'm probably gonna have something for lunch, even if it's just like a tiny little portion of something, just so I have something in my stomach, because I do wanna actually like do a workout later today in the afternoon, and I have some other stuff that I need to film and get done. So I don't wanna like have no energy and then just try to go back to energy drinks. But yeah, overall, feeling good today. I feel like any kind of constipation or stomach like fullness that I've felt, it's there, but it's not as like uncomfortable as it was yesterday. I think yesterday with the acid reflux and stuff, my stomach was just not happy. So I'm feeling like that's kind of passed through. And that fiber drink that I had this morning, 10 out of 10 would recommend. It totally made me feel like things were kind of like moving and not just sitting in my stomach like a rock. So if you have been struggling with constipation, I know, ew, whatever. If you've been struggling with constipation when you're on a GLP-1, I would highly recommend that Flatter Me fiber stuff. Worked like a charm. I think that's all the updates I have. So I will check in when I'm back from my allergy shots. While I'm on my drive to go to my allergy shots, I'm gonna continue my tandem read with Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. I'm on chapter 60. It says I only have like 3 hours left in each of them, so I am trying to finish them so hard. I'm going on a trip to Canada for just like a little 5-day getaway with my mom, my sister-in-law, and my mother-in-law, and my goal is to finish this tandem read by the time I am going to Canada. Like, I want to finish it by Friday, but I need to make it a priority, like on my way to work, on my way home from work. And then I do have a 2-hour drive to my mom's house, to my parents' house on Friday night after work. So that's like another basically 2 hours and 40 minutes because it takes me 40 minutes to get home. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem doing it. It's just still like 6 hours. So realistically, do I have time to do it? Yes. But I need to prioritize it, otherwise it won't get done. If I can finish these two, then I only have one more book left in the series, and I like this series, but I'm gonna just say it's not my favorite in terms of a fantasy series, and I think it's just because it's quite extensive on the world building, which normally I don't mind at all. Like, I love books that have kind of like an intense world building situation, but for whatever reason I just don't feel as like engaged with it. I don't feel like I care as much about it, and I think part of it is that like I usually reread series like this over and over and over again. Like Harry Potter, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've reread that or listened to it or XYZ. But so this being my first pass through it, I just feel like I am not as connected to it, but I think I'm gonna listen to it again on audiobooks, just kind of, you know, after some time, probably in the winter time. That's what I'm planning on doing it, when I'm going on like long runs or something like that, and I need something to pass the time. Or I'm gonna wait until all of the dramatized versions come out, because I love the dramatized versions of like ACOTAR and all of those books. So I think I might actually wait until all of them are dramatized, but that might take a long time, and I don't know if I can wait that long to reread it. But I'm getting way ahead of myself because I still have to read Crescent City. I haven't read any of those books yet, so I have to read all 3 of those. And then Sarah J. Maas just announced that she has finished the first kind of pass of the 6th book of ACOTAR. So I kind of feel like I need to like reread / re-listen to all of ACOTAR. There's just so many books to read and so little time. So lots of good bookish things to look forward to for the rest of the year. I'm back from getting my allergy shots, and I actually feel like a little bit hungry now, so I'm gonna make some lunch. I have this idea to do like a romaine salad with feta and grapes and ham. I wasn't recording. I ended up adding some cucumbers into this because I had them in my fridge. So it's a green grape, cucumber, ham, and feta salad. I almost said sandwich. But this is so good. It's like really light, refreshing, super summery, like just like a cold salad, you know? Like, do you ever just crave like a cold salad? It's so good. I'm not sure what the macros are on this, but I will figure that out, and I'll put it somewhere on the screen here. Okay. It's 5:30 now. The afternoon did not exactly go as planned, and I'm trying really hard not to like beat myself up about it, but it is what it is. I can only move forward. This whole series where I'm sharing about my sleep apnea journey and my journey with Zepbound is supposed to be real and raw and honest, and I just want to be as relatable as possible in sharing this whole thing. So basically I ate lunch and then I decided to go cuddle on the couch with my dogs, and one thing led to another, and I basically took a 3.5 hour nap. So it's really hard for me not to get discouraged about stuff like that, because as hard as I try to like just lay down for 10 minutes or just lay down for 20 minutes, it never works out. Like, I will set an alarm and I will literally sleep through it. I will set a timer and I will sleep through it. So clearly my body needed sleep. And the thing is that I will go to bed at my normal time tonight and sleep the rest of the night. Like, it's just, this is how my life has been for the last 4 years. I mean, the naps kind of have started more within the last like 2 years, but it's hard because I have so much that I want to get done with like content. I wanted to pack, I wanted to work out, and now I just feel like I have to pick, you know, like I can't get everything I want done in the day because I'm so tired and I feel like I have to take a nap in order to function. And I mean, also in order to like function through my work week, you know, like I do feel like without these naps that I take on the weekends, my work week is so much worse because I never feel fully rested. And that's another thing that's just really frustrating, and that I feel like I just have to continuously be gentle with myself about. Like, I don't have a CPAP yet. I hopefully will start to feel better once I have my CPAP, but until then I need to continue to have grace for myself and grace on myself. I need to like continually have some compassion and a little empathy with myself, and not to try to push myself more than beyond my limits, because the truth is that although I finally have answers and I'm finally making strides to like improve my quality of life, I don't have everything I need yet, and I'm still in the early phases of it, which again is just like hard to come to terms with, you know, because I'm so excited that I finally have an answer and I finally know what's going on. But in the same token, I just have not like reached the recovery stage yet, really. So anyways, think I'm gonna start packing for Canada because I really need to do that. And just at least like have kind of a setup or like some stuff laid out for what I want to wear and pack and whatnot like that. It's gonna be much colder in Banff than it is in where I currently am in Milwaukee right now, so I get to wear like pants. I get to pack pants, and I'm kind of excited about it. Oh, a little update before I go on my eating. I have not eaten anything since lunch. I felt pretty good after lunch. Like, I did end up feeling a little bit of some potential acid reflux coming on, but I didn't feel overly full. I also didn't feel overly full. I didn't feel hungry after my meal. So I think that was a good kind of amount for me. That was only like 230 calories. It had 31 grams of protein, but it was only like 230 calories. I did make myself the same exact lunch for tomorrow, but I did increase the portion sizes a little bit, so it's like 300 calories. So I just added more veggie. Basically, I kept the protein the same. But just because at work I'm walking a lot more than I am kind of on the weekends, and I do tend to get more hungry, especially around lunchtime. But again, this is my first day going back to work with like post Zepbound, you could say. And so I have no idea like what my hunger is going to be like throughout the day. I have zero idea. So I just wanted to give myself a little extra volume in case I needed it. Following morning, and I just wanted to give an update on kind of how my night ended last night, because I never did that. I actually didn't eat any dinner last night. I had one serving of like pretzels with peanut butter inside, but I was not hungry for like an actual dinner, mostly because my stomach just feels like really bloated and like crampy almost. Like that's the best way I can describe it. It just feels like annoyingly kind of crampy, not to the point where I feel like I need to like take medicine for it or anything like that, but it just feels kind of like crampy. I don't know. I weighed myself this morning and I'm down 7 pounds, which is freaking crazy. Obviously some of that's water weight and just like, you know, a change in my body. So I'm not taking that like too literally. If I gain some weight back, I won't be surprised. But anyways, this is just to say that I have had a really positive overall reaction to even just like a microdose of the Zepbound. So I'm curious to see like what my body will do when I'm up at higher doses. I'm kind of just letting my body tell me when it's hungry, letting my body give me natural cues. Part of this for me is just like relearning what my body is telling me, you know, because I feel like for so many of us who have been in some kind of medical thing for a long period of time, like if it messes with your hunger hormones, it's like a whole process of relearning what your body is trying to tell you. And that's kind of the phase that I'm in right now, is just trying to like relearn, okay, what's a hunger cue? What's not a hunger cue? That kind of thing. I am not worried at all at this point about like losing muscle mass or like not getting my nutrients in, because I have an excess of those. So I am not worried about that at this time. If this persists and I'm not eating normally, quote unquote, like, you know, multiple times a day or even like just twice a day, and I'm not getting any nutrients for like a prolonged period of time, then I'll definitely reach out to my doctor. But I don't foresee that happening. I just think that this is my body going through a transition and trying to like adjust to the medication and also like burn off some of the excess stuff that's just been lingering in my body for like who knows how long, you know? And I don't know if that's necessarily scientific or not, but I know I'm not in any sort of like state where I could go into like malnourishment or anything like that, because I clearly have an excess of nourishment. We're just gonna leave it at that. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed just me kind of sharing my experience with trying Zepbound for the first time. And I hope that if you are going through the same type of journey or a similar type of journey, that this resonates with you. And please let me know in the comments if you guys have been going through something like this. I would just love to create a community where we can just be like open and honest and raw and, you know, share these experiences without the judgment, because that's so important. So anyways, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.